Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the books that I would like to reread this year, and there are quite a few books that I am like totally planning on rereading. Who knows if I'm even going to get to them? I mean, at the rate I'm going, I'm kind of reading fairly fast, like knock on wood, seriously, knock on wood. I am really hoping that I can keep up this rate of book reading that I'm at right now because I've read quite a few books this month already and I'm very proud of myself. So there are quite a few books that I want to reread because they're just like some of my favorites, and because I'm kind of working up to certain sequels of books, if you know what I mean. So we're just gonna get right on into this video. So the first two books should come as no surprise if you kind of catch my drift of this video, and that is Unravel Me and Ignite Me by Tahada Mafi. And I have already reread Shatter Me. That was a few months ago, but I'm not gonna bother rereading that one yet. So I have Unravel Me right here and Ignite Me, and I want to reread these to work up to the release of Restore Me. So I might be doing these very, very soon. Maybe after I finish Bruja Born, I might try to get into these two books because I definitely want to reread these before I read Restore Me for the first time. So I love these books so much. If you know me, you know how much I love these books. And I mean, what rock have you been living under if you don't know what these are about? These are amazing. They're about Juliet. She's awesome. She has this really cool power to where she can physically harm people just by touching them. And it's dystopian and amazing, and I love these books so much. Holy moly, they're my favorites. The next book I want to reread is one that I read last year for the first time, and I loved it so much. I read it in like 2 days. It was amazing, and that's The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I know I still have to read Love, Simon. I was going to get it today at Target. They didn't have it, so oh well. But I definitely want to reread The Upside of Unrequited because I loved it so much and it was so amazing, and I definitely want to reread this. I just absolutely loved it. It's amazing. It's just one of my favorite contemporaries like ever. The next book would be The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, and I loved this book last year. It was one of my favorite books of last year, as were most of these books actually, and I loved it so much. It was so amazing. This one is set in Russia, and it's sort of like a fantasy, but not. There's a lot of magic in it. It kind of reminds me of The Night Circus. It's about these two enchanters in Russia, and they are battling it out for the spot of the royal enchanter for the king, and I love this book so much. It's not very romance heavy at all. It's very slow burn. There is kind of a love triangle in it, but it's like so slow burn that it like doesn't really matter. And I love this book so much. It's so magical. It's like, it's honestly one of my favorites because I love Russian history. I love Russian culture. And this is just set in a really interesting time period in Russia. So it's before the Russian Revolution, and I love it so much. It's just one of my favorite series ever. Like, it's amazing. The next book I want to reread is actually a play, and that is Hamlet by William Shakespeare, and this is an obvious, definite reread for me. I am actually in a Shakespeare class this year, or this semester, and Hamlet is on our required reading, and this actually is not the correct copy of Hamlet that I'm using for that class. It's somewhere on the floor and I don't feel like getting it, but it is amazing. I love Hamlet. If you read any Shakespeare play, make it Hamlet. It is amazing. Like, dude, just one of the best plays ever written. Just, it's amazing. I love it. It's amazing. The next book I want to reread is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and I love this book. I'm actually 85 pages into it, and I love it so much. I read this book when I was about 19 years old, and it was the first Women Loving Women book that I had ever read in my entire life, and I actually went into this not realizing that it would have any representation. I just thought that it was a cool, romancy, fun book set in LA, and it sounded really cool. And I'm actually the type of person that doesn't read the back, and I don't really look into the book that much before I read it, so I had no idea. And funny enough, none of the booktubers that recommended this, they didn't mention that it was Women Loving Women. I mean, that was like, it was like 4 years ago, but still, people should people should let me know, but I love this book so much. It's about a girl and she is a set designer in LA. She is still in high school. You really have to suspend your disbelief for this one, but it's so good once you do. Like, her writing style is so beautiful, and it's amazing. It's magical. It just completely transports you. It gives me this really warm, fuzzy feeling inside, and I just love Nina LaCour's writing. It's beautiful. I think I read this book to the CD Red by Taylor Swift. When I first read this book, I think that's the album I listened to, and it fits so perfectly. So if you like Red by Taylor Swift, you're going to love this book, and vice versa. So I love this book. I can't wait to reread it. And the very last book that I want to reread this year would be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And I read this book a few years ago, and I loved it so much. I can't really honestly remember a lot of the things that happened in this book. I remember Crooked Kingdom way better than I remember Six of Crows, and I love this book so much. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, why is it so gorgeous? Like, I don't even understand how anyone could make such a beautiful book. But I kind of want to reread it and remember why I love this series so much. And I feel like if I reread it, I might catch a lot of things that I missed, because I kind of read this at the time when I wasn't really reading books very deeply or critically at all. Like, so I was the type of reader that would just kind of skip a few lines and just kind of read as fast as I possibly could. And so I would really love to get back into this and really give it a good, solid read. I think that's what it needs. And if you don't know what this book is about, I don't know what rock you've been living under. I mean, how do you not know what Six of Crows is about? A group of people, there's a heist, it's really amazing. Kind of like an Eastern European, Russian-inspired fantasy world. I love it so much, and yeah, I can't wait to reread this one as well. Alright, so those were all of the books that I would like to reread this year. There might be more on this list at some point, who knows? But yeah, I think also I might want to reread Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting for Dracula. Now that I think about it, I might want to reread those. I might have to re-download those onto my Audible, so those ones might be added onto the list as well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm getting really, really close to 800, and I would like to hit 800 as soon as possible. And thank you guys for subscribing, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.